Wow. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Did you break yourself again, Aaron?
Yeah, I hurt myself at work today.
He came pre-broken.
It's fine. It's fine, everybody. You just gotta remember, today's brought to you by the snuggle is real. It's not. It's not real. It's fake. It's just like cake. It's bad for you.
It's like
Do not
birds.
snuggle.
Ooh.
And
It's
it's,
like
a lie.
birds.
That's sad.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Birds are.
No, they're very real.
Birds.
Birds
Real
aren't real,
tasty.
but dinosaurs are.
Because
Birds are a machination of the devil. Birds are a machination of the devil.
That's
Look, I
just
know
a deep state
birds
spine
are
on you.
macadamia. What?
I know the show is largely produced in Texas, but that's a little too far for me.
Yeah. Take that to Florida.
Sorry, we'll
That's okay. The storm's doing that first.
No.
Oh,
Anyway, hi guys, welcome
We
to
just lost our one
HMN.
Florida fan.
Yeah. Joom, no,
Hi,
come
Joom.
back.
I was gonna say why. that's kind of dark,
Oh.
dreamy.
Not that way.
Yikes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well,
Joom, are you a hurricane or a hurricane?
anyhow, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. We have a lovely presentation of real historical events presented to you by some trained professionals. That's about
Oh, so we're switching over to somebody else.
We're all going away.
I didn't know the
All of
bars
us.
were
We're
playing tonight.
certified in D&D.
We were acquired
we?
and then fired.
Yeah.
Just making it rain pink limps.
No. Okay. Let's see here. Oh no, we do have announcements. I was like, wait,
Is
do
it
we?
this week that you're?
Yeah. I almost forgot. Friday, I will be over there on Marquee Gaming. Probably getting murder faced. If I'm not the one doing the murder facing, I will be getting murder faced. But then there's some fun little stuff that we have planned for that. So if I do get murder faced, let's start a poll. How fast do you think I'm going to get murder faced?
Who are you playing with?
I don't know.
Okay,
3
then
rounds.
I can't.
New
accurately-
people.
You won't be final girl, but you'll be the one right before her.
Okay, so
The
second
one
to
that
last.
almost made it out and then
The best friend
just didn't.
or the significant other.
The one who had
If you're
to
the
make-
second last to die, though, then you sometimes actually make it. Like
By
after the
always.
final girl wins.
See,
then
no,
it's
but
like
that
a
means
reveal
you're
that they're fine.
Tatum.
Tatum
always
in the
dies.
first Scream.
Sure.
I had to work backwards and figure out. was next
Executive
class.
bullet sponge.
Executive bullet sponge. Ooh, I like that. Maybe I'll be executive bullet sponge.
The pay's the same.
Probably.
But you get no benefits.
No dental. Oh well.
Twice the murder face.
Twice.
I mean, the bullets could go towards dental, but I mean,
That's okay. Anyway, so yeah, come see us over there with Pip and the gang. Tomorrow, you guys have
We're
guests
going
or
to
no?
be pushing back this week due to the holidays this week was... they were a thing that happened up in Canada.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be doing that. We'll have to adjust a few things. I know some of us may or may not be here next week for the next 2 weeks, I believe. So,
after the next week.
oh, you're not the only one.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I'll work it out.
We'll play some Sea of Thieves or something.
There you go.
We'll play some
Ah.
Parcheesi.
Sea of Thebes?
See you, Steve.
And Sunday.
It is an island.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yes. We were going to do part 1 of Kids on Bikes last Sunday, but some family things happened, and now we are probably going to start this week. There is a chance that could still change pending said family things, but follow Discord, and we should have a definite decision on that by the end of this week.
Heard. All right.
If you like teens, if you like the 90s, if you like drama, if you like, oh no,
I
he's
agree,
hot,
Martel.
come join the game.
I hate all of that. because that was my life.
Well, we don't
almost.
want you there anywhere, Aaron.
That was
You don't have
almost
to
my
like
life.
teens in
I
order
was
to
like-
be.
If you
Wait,
like
I
teens,
in the 90s, I think I liked teens because I was like 10 and 11 and 12. I think I did.
I think we need to cut to the opening credits.
I think I
Like
was-
has a
I was
plethora
like-
of definitions.
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about? I had crushes.
you're not making it better for yourself. Dream.
It's fine.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's go.
All right. I think that about covers our. Oh yeah, and for Vix, this chair is always waiting. I'll clip that for her later. All right, let's get this party started. '18th of Thargelion, Hemera Hermu. I have found the playful nature of my companions to be an interesting effect given the dire future we were faced with at the time. Already they had touched many lives and changed the course of countless futures without perhaps realizing. And yet, mornings are filled with quiet laughs and friendly prodding, banging on doors, and even hair braiding. Our first day with the pirate Mystios proved to be as eventful as any other without him. We, upon passing through the swampy town of Lerna, found ourselves being spoken to by the king of the seas, Poseidon himself, wishing to see for himself those that were now being spoken of amongst the gods. To the date of this writing, I will still never be accustomed to the speaking freely between mortal and god. Orphic though he may be, the king of the seas and his fury is well known from Kemet and back again. I myself have seen some of this fury. Still, the conversation was quite interesting in his questions and answers. Upon reaching the city of Tyreenes, we found it under the guard of two giants, and the promise of an eternal curse if trouble was made within the city gates, something that most found to be quite serious. The guards told of the attacks of wild men preying on travelers between the cities, and the wishing to avoid any such beastly men from invading the walls of the fortress city. Once we were inside, however, a man foolishly presumes to steal from the pirate Mystios captain Amadeo, and pays for such a mistake, apparently, though no one saw the actual event take place. I believe it was then that I knew that the fool was not a fool, but one to be taken seriously and with respect. For the unassuming can at times be more dangerous than anything else. Oh, right. Let's see here. Okay. I believe I think we had ended shortly after everyone had come back together, after Phoebe had a little bit of a conversation with Amadeo in the privacy of his room before coming back and having had spoken with Davos and Xanthus about the discovery of a man who had apparently drowned in the middle of the city. And I think that was about where we had ended, if I'm not mistaken. So you have the rest of the night. It is still kind of raining outside. Was there any other things or conversations you guys wanted to have before you settled in for the evening? Oh, what'd you say?
Yes.
Ash? Go ahead.
She wanted to talk to Poseidon.
Hmm. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. How are you going to do that?
She's going to grab a, I guess, is there like a fountain outside of this tavern, or like a well? Or how
Right.
close would it be to the shore?
It's not on the shore.
Right.
It's in the hill, amongst the hills.
Mhm.
Fountains, not really. There's definitely some wells. This is kind of more one of those like fortress that contains a city within it sort of situation. So there is some, there would be some wells in here, but they're probably pretty well guarded.
Well, knowing
Or
that
at
he
least
wants to talk,
maybe not guarded,
Yeah.
but like
yeah, it'd be weird to like go and talk to a well, or like the I don't know. Okay, she knows that he wants to talk to her, so I'm just gonna stick with. She's gonna grab a shallow bowl, and fill it with water, and go to her room.
Okay.
No.
Which, by the way, who are you sharing your room with?
Hmm. Mole,
Well,
maybe.
okay. Sure.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. She, looking a bit ridiculous, she's going to speak into the bowl of water. Can I make a religion check? Or
Sure.
perhaps I should ask the Misto for help in this.
What
She
are
does
you
a-
trying to do?
Poseidon talked to us earlier today, and he said they needed to speak to me. I don't know how to reach out to him exactly.
I would imagine it would probably be the same as any other of the deities, no?
Hmm.
You not pray to them and they hear, and perhaps if you are lucky and beautiful or whatever, you are answered.
When I speak to Astra, I go outside, but we are nowhere near a body of water. I could give an offering, perhaps. She's going to use some of her life force to conjure with Drewcraft a bundle of basil
Okay.
that will begin to grow with some dust that she's picked up and starts to like move around in her hand. It like changes into seeds and then they sprout into this bundle of basil.
Sure.
And she'll place that basil in the water and call upon Poseidon. A great god of the sea, you call upon me. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. I heed your call. And she'll concentrate on the water that's in the bowl. Yeah.
Okay. Do you say anything else to the bowl of water and basil? To your basil tea? Or basil soup, I guess it's more probably. Basil makes more soup. Or tea.
No, that's it. I know that he needs to talk. He reached out to me earlier, so I'm gonna hope that this is sufficient. I rolled a 14.
14? How many gods would you say you've prayed to before?
Probably just mostly Poseidon, and Astrea, and then also Zeus and for storms and whatnot. Just a couple, I assume, so that she would be praying to.
It's true. So you have prayed to
and then
Poseidon
also,
before.
yeah, she would as a sailor, yeah, and then also on her hunter side, why am I not remembering her name right now?
Artemis?
Artemis, sorry, yeah. And then also maybe Athena, because she's Athenian. Yeah.
It was probably then one of those weird things where you have prayed to Poseidon before and never had actually heard his voice. Not until earlier today when that happened. You find yourself doing something similar now, and the not the mannerisms, but the way that you do that feels both familiar because you've done before, but strange, and there's like a little bit of that nervous feeling to your stomach just because this seems to make it all the more real, even though you have seen Ares and Hecate and even Apollo to a degree. Still, the thought of speaking to those that up until 3 weeks ago or so had always been just deities from far away, but now seeing them as real as you have, it is truly something unique. And you wait. And there is no response.
He will reach out when he has the time. He's like, oh, sure. And she's speaking to Maul.
Marl's just sitting on her cot and just kind of like Fingers out and then splaying again, and then out. And I was waiting for something to happen, but perhaps this god of the sea is busy. I would imagine you are not the only supplicant to try and reach his ears.
There are many at sea at this point.
Let us hope. Perhaps not.
Yeah. Let's hope that he can protect them.
Can and will are two very different things, young Astrid. If anything I have seen throughout my years, I have seen his blessing on some, bringing to port ships that should have been destroyed by storms. But I have also heard of those who have sunk, falling beneath the waves, though their passengers be faithful.
How did we know that Poseidon and all of the gods are... They are men as we are. Stronger, perhaps, but still men. Not one person can save everyone. But I'm sure he's doing what he can.
And yet that is what is expected of them. No?
Well, that's all I wanted to do for tonight. I don't want to keep you up much longer as well, so I'll get ready for bed.
I never sleep.
You don't sleep?
No, I sleep.
Oh.
I just wanted to see what your reaction would be. I definitely will not be laying here staring at you from across the room.
No, of course not.
No, that would be awkward.
But then
She rolls
she'll-
over and lays down very slowly and like her head on her pillow, and she just like dead eye makes eye contact with you the whole time.
Her, like glowing lizard eyes every once in a while, glinting in the darkness. Astrid's going to, for a second, consider putting away the basil in the water, but she leaves it there on the, I guess, the dresser or whatever.
Sure. And the room begins to smell of basil, which is quite delicious.
She'll go to bed.
Okay. Anybody else?
Should I talk to the crew now or wait? Oh, go ahead.
It's up to you.
I believe I was asked to maybe ask Hecate to do a little background check on Amadeo. So I need to do that. But Amadeo, why don't you go first so I can think about how to fit what I need to say into a little 25-word sending spell.
Sure. All right. Good luck with that. About just who is this moron?
The problem is Themisto has to burn some of them on like addressing her god or goddess with like an honorific, so it's never really like 25.
Her response would also just be, "It's Amadeo."
That would be great.
You and her have an agreement.
After Phoebe had left the room,
We might. You don't know.
Yeah. After Phoebe had left the room, oh my god, I was gonna say Magatha. It's not Magatha.
No, Magatha's my other crewmate.
That you left her on the ship. Margetta. Margetta. Where she's laying like rolls over on her side and it's just like looking over at you.
Some
So-
people just don't appreciate things.
This is probably true. but we are not among some people.
No, we are not. I suppose I should talk to Mikos now. Where is their room? Come. Actually, you do whatever you want.
I was going to say I feel rather comfortable now. But if you wish me to be present, I will be there for moral support, Captain.
Oh, I do not need it. You have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
He will put on a shirt, almost walk out, realize that he's Winnie the Poohing it, put on pants, and then he will leave.
It's like the next
go
door
for
over.
the right.
You knock on the door and enter because you've given them the the decency of a knock first off. Like what else do they need? But sitting at the edges of their respective bed, you see Mikos and Mog both like leaning over, hands on knees as they're like look like they're in the middle of talking to each other. And then once you enter and they see it's you can see Mikos looked more upset about being interrupted than realizes it's you, and then just like relaxes the upset and turns to a little more like rigid in the respectful way and takes this like stands up. Mog looks over at Mikos and then he gets up also.
And how are we doing this evening?
Are you directing that to both or just to one in particular?
Both, yeah. Sorry, to both.
Yeah. Mog kind of just shrugs. Just goes, it's fine. Mikos kind of stands a little taller, puffs his chest out a little more, and you can see the fins of his Triton hair, his head fins, kind of like flip up a little bit, like kind of all the fins on his body kind of like seem to flex and spread, showing like the colorful color of their nature before like folding back down against his skin again. We are fine, Captain. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Did you find my trinket?
Pulls out a necklace.
Good man. Takes it. Unfortunately, can't wear it like he was because the chain has been broken. So he sort of, I guess he'll tie it to his wrist. And then he will address his crew. Well, you have done well. Unfortunately, your captain has not.
Mikos, as you say, you've done well. He crosses his arms and looks a little proud of himself until you say the last part, and then he brings his arms down
again. Oh no, you have done nothing wrong.
What do you mean, Captain?
I simply overestimated, underestimated. I did not quite gauge the temperament of our traveling companions. Seems like they don't like murder. So
I don't know what you mean.
Because we are not. Oh, neither do I. But in the future, we are going to take a less firm hand with the people around us. They are soft, but that does not mean they are weak.
Captain, I was not about to let that thief disrespect you. He may not know who you were, but that is no excuse.
Oh, I understand completely. As I said, I did not tell you what to do, but I knew what was going to happen.
If you are worried about this curse for all eternity, do not worry. They will never know what happened. No one will know. You remember that one time when we used Ambrosiac?
I do.
So, if any of the guards happen to find the body, which they might, it will seem as a simple accident,
They did.
a miscalculation. How do you know? How do you know they found a body?
They told me.
The guards?
No, what was her name? Phoebe? What are any of their names? I have such difficulty.
You see Mog cross their arms and roll their eyes. Yes, Phoebe.
Right, yes, the one who wants to wrestle you.
Not really a challenge.
We shall see.
They just shrug and just go,
I have no doubt in your strength, Maug, but that is a tricky one. It shall be an interesting match. Anyway.
Doesn't have to be tricky when I have 2 fists right here. And an axe.
Perhaps you are right. You do not bring an axe to a wrestling match, Maug. Come now.
Kind of duck their head down a little bit, like, aw. Mikos. What if someone along the way disrespects you again?
Well,
At least now that Phoebe will take this news to her companions and they will know that you are serious. I fear that they do not see you seriously.
that can be a shield greater than you realize. Being underestimated has served me quite well in my life.
But it is wrong.
You know that, and I know that. And that is what matters. Either way, I got mugged by some random street rat. That is on me. That's pathetic. I need to step it up.
It won't happen again, Captain.
Just as long as we are traveling with these people, these these great heroes.
They are no heroes of mine.
It's all a matter of perspective, my friend. Now, I interrupted you. I shall leave you to it. Have a good night.
There's no need. I was just imparting some wisdom to young Mog.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Mog, for once, stays quiet.
We'll give him a nod, and I will go back.
There's one more as you begin to back out. They both kind of well, Miko salutes first. Mog follows, even if maybe there's a tinge of not hesitation, but just like the slight
One of these days.
bucking of authority. But that is per usual with Mog. All right. You go back to your room.
Yep.
The Margetta, as you enter, now has like a blanket up to her neck, looking like she had just started to drift off.
So, Captain, what did they say?
A simple misunderstanding. I do not think we have to worry about it in the future.
Did the Mikos
At
do
least.
the switch again? In reference
Is the-
also to the Ambrosiac from the last
yeah.
time.
Yes.
Ah, he knows how to cover his tracks at least.
Well, and I suppose these gods of theirs are quite. Yeah, it could be simple suspicion. I did ask for proof and I did not get any. But either way, we do not want these people running from us. We need that gold.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. Otherwise, we'll have more to worry about.
Strange times.
She kind of just shrugs as best as she can and then like rolls over so that her back is to you. She get like it almost kind of reminds me of you remember a mole from Atlantis when he like digs himself into a pot and just like gets cozy. It's like something similar to that, except she's digging herself into the cot and blankets like.
I've done that move. It's pleasant.
It's one of my favorites. Amadeo will re-disrobe and then do the same thing.
Perfect. All right.
Like a cartoon cat.
Beautiful. All right. Themisto, you ready?
Indeed. So, since she is going to be speaking to one of our patrons, essentially, she is going to get a little more privacy. Maybe back in the room that she and Phoebe are sharing.
Okay.
And if Phoebe would like to be there, she may. And this time to reach out to Hecate, I've usually focused on the patterns and symbols that Themisto learned from Laertes, but this time she's going to use the threshold of the door to their room as part of the spell as well. Or perhaps actually the window, because it's a little easier to work with. Since she is not only a lady of secrets, but also of doorways. And she will take her stylus and taking a bit of the fresh bay, she will crush it on the end of the stylus as she goes along, drawing just like this little thin kind of mushy film of like crushed bay traces, just faint, in the patterns that she's learned. And as she does this, with each symbol, she says 5 words.
Cool.
Lady of Secrets, we travel with Pirate Amadeo. Read our fortunes well. Do you know him? Are we alike? acts as if wonders are ordinary. Please don't count my accent against me. That last part, of course, is just me talking because I couldn't say the word acts.
Yep. Was that it?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
good.
There is a moment's hesitation. Reads fortunes, does he? Curious. I have not studied him. Perhaps there is some connection. But that will have to wait. Must be present to verify. That's it.
Themisto will turn and look at Phoebe and say, she does not know. Because she would have said these things out loud.
I guess we shall have to proceed with caution.
Yes. Caution I am not so certain about. But it would be interesting to know where his comfort with the sorts of things he has seen in such a short time comes from.
I agree. Nor will be keeping a very close eye on his crew if I can.
I shall go and tell Laertes. Do you wish to come with me?
No, I don't want to crowd. You can tell him.
Okay. I will return soon. Themisto is going to walk over to Laertes' room, if he's there.
I'm just trying to think about who he'd be rooming with at this point. It would be Cypress or Maal, or both.
No,
I
Miles with
believe
Astrid.
Astrid and
Astrid,
Maal
okay.
are
So
rooming.
Cypress, if that's workable for you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
The two of you hear a knock on your door.
Cypress will look at Laertes just to see if he's
Are you
clocked
expecting
it,
anybody?
heard it. well, more just to be sure that like
We're not going crazy.
a sound was heard and that it's like just the quick conversation of seeing that both are aware of everything that's going on. And then he'll get up and go to the door.
Yeah, there would have just been this find out for science kind of look.
Yeah, Cypress will go open the door.
Cypress, good evening.
Good evening.
I know we are all getting ready to sleep for the night, but may I come in for a moment? It will be quick.
Of course.
Aaron, quick thing. Is there a small desk or anything in there? Or is it basically just
it's mostly just
like two cots?
There's like two cots, something to store clothes and belongings on or in temporarily. It's not really like a full hotel room.
Like a dresser, or more of a crate at the bottom of the cot kind of thing.
Half dresser, we'll say. So not like a full like standing one, but like just like maybe two drawers.
I'd say he'd be on the floor then, at the foot of the bed, trying to do a little bit of crystal math. It would be the only way I can put it, as he's trying to figure out the next step in his little experiment. And the stones that he was interacting with stop in free floating orbit and just, oh, hello.
What is it that you're working on tonight?
One of them will float in between his fingers and just, trying to, I guess, refine the process behind this.
Of course. As we all are doing, I suppose, huh? So, based off of some of the things that we discussed earlier tonight, I did reach out to Lady Hecate about our pirate captain friend.
I see. How did it go?
Oh, well, I have no news, unfortunately. She has not heard of or studied these pirate capitaneos. She does not know where his powers originate from, and she would have to have time to come and visit if she was going to determine it. I have a curiosity about why it is that he seems so comfortable with these sorts of things that he experienced with Astrid and now with us. But I suppose I could always ask.
Well, I suppose we'll have plenty of time on the walk.
Well, at least of a current threat assessment, if you will. A worst case scenario is that he's with the enemy. But considering the type of enemy that we've come across so far, while he does carry himself with the self-assured smugness of several of our foes, he's not been preaching about fear, which at least is something in his favor. I don't know if his crew is innocent of that, but still. So probably not so bad. And otherwise, if he's like us, then I guess that's also more neutral than anything else. We just should continue to be on our guard. But if he's not like us, then he could just be a rogue or worse. But at that point, it's only a matter of watching him. Do we know what he wants?
Gold.
Gold.
Apparently.
Well, has he tried to pick anyone's pocket yet? I don't think I'm missing anything.
I think in these times of difficulty that we are facing, I am not so worried about this. I suppose perhaps it is naive. Maybe if the gold were to offer him more gold than the kings of Sparta, would he stab us in the back? I don't know.
How much did they offer him?
But quite a sum. I believe it was 400 drachmi for each of us who makes it to Thebes.
Well, that's beneficial then.
And they seem to be paying
currently
for the
have
expenses
about
of the journey
200 to
as
my
well.
name, so
Yes, I also living the life of a priestess do not have a lot of drachmi. Certainly not like the kings of Sparta.
well, besides him, his crew, do we think that there's anything more to fear? Not necessarily from them as opposed to him, but about them, if such a thing as what happened earlier today. We still don't know if that's going to come and bite us. I'd sooner toss him to the hill giants than speak up for him, but I mean, not. All that to say, I mean, intent to harm us aside, do we think that he and his crew are at least trustworthy enough to not
Not even a little.
cause such a situation? Not at all. Okay, so I'm not the only one. But
At least upon becoming exposed, he made a public effort to try to subdue things. Unless that the group with the talk with the crew was just super private, I don't know. A little check here above the table.
I think he went into the room on his own.
Okay. So, then forget that last statement.
Yeah, you
is
could
he
have a
aware
hunch.
of? Has he seen any? He helped Astrid, right?
Yes, in fact, I'm going to speak to her next. I believe she asked for some assistance tonight.
Well, she is a very wise woman, so I would at least trust her
Yes,
intuition
who better
with
to
a.
know a Capitanios than other Capitanios?
So that's worth pretty much all the points for him that I at least will require to tolerate his presence. But I don't, at the very least, I don't trust him. But don't trust is not necessarily the same thing as cannot tolerate.
Well, in any case, at this point, we don't know whether he is an Orphic or not, and that is what I came to say.
Do you know if Phoebe is looking to have an ally in her upcoming fight with the crew member?
Ah, she would like
I was
to make
hoping
it
for a
a
similar
larger
thing where we
competition.
squared off against the two great sons of Sparta.
I have to
Lost.
say, I'm
I'd like to
becoming
win
a
this
fan
time.
of presiding over these sorts of games. So, if you want to make it a bigger rumble, then I would be happy to try to arrange that.
I won't interject myself. I'll see if Phoebe's interested in that. If it
Of
is
course, you should
happening
ask
before
her.
the moment. Is she
I
right
think
outside?
she would like that sort of thing.
I'll be right back. And Cypress is gonna head to your room. And then like knock on Phoebe's door. Phoebe.
I guess you stay here now.
Are you going to wait for an answer before you bust in?
Oh yeah. But
Okay, good.
it's more of like a loud, not really trying to be gentle. Phoebe. Knock,
Who
knock,
is
knock.
it?
What? It's Cypress.
Oh, shit. Just a second.
Oh, sorry. Well, you don't need to come out. Do you have a schedule
Hold
for
on,
the fight?
just a moment. And you hear some and then you hear like a bump, like a shit. And then she answers the door.
Hey, sorry. And he's like not looking at you in case you're in
No, she's
disarray.
stressed now. Like her hair is down from how she normally like has it back during the day, but
Sorry, I did not mean to intrude. Themisto was talking to us. Anyway, are you looking for another sparring ally for the upcoming brawl that you've tried to schedule?
what, like a 2 versus 1?
Yes. No, or I don't know if he thinks so.
Do you think I can't fight Maug by myself, Cypress?
Of course, I don't think that. Last time we teamed up, it was fun, but we lost. I want to team up and win.
Okay,
I
well,
don't-
if you can find someone that you want to fight, then we can 2 versus 2 again.
Okay. I mean, maybe, hopefully, they'll offer up someone. Otherwise, I'll just let you do it. I mean, I'm intruding on your thing, and I don't want to intrude too much.
No, Jonas, I just didn't want it to.
I'm
I
also
want
intruding
Maug
on
to
your
feel
evening.
welcomed in like a friendly fight kind of way, not like a we're going to kick your ass, you don't belong kind of way. So I want to just, make sure.
I wasn't sure what the energy quite was. It honestly felt like back when it was Davos and Xanthus that they were kind of giving off that energy.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that back.
We don't want to do that. Am I projecting? Is it?
Is the hi?
Are you
It's me, the
projecting?
problem.
Am I continuing a cycle?
Be the cycle breaker, Cypress.
I'll break the cycle.
This is when we invent therapy.
Good night, Phoebe. I'll go sleep.
He walks away
Tell,
going, I'm
I
the
will-
tell
problem.
Themisto not to wait too long.
Okay.
Take too long.
Cypress gets back to the room and says, Phoebe says not to take too long. And he'll go back to his room. But he says it like with a smile and gets back to more his spot in the room.
Of course. Later, Thijs. Good night.
Good night.
Night, Misto. Thank you.
Themisto will walk down the hall now to Astrid's.
Just a minute.
Astrid, you're muted.
Or the door's just really thick.
As soon as you knock,
Themisto just stands there.
I guess she's busy.
as soon as you knock, Astrid opens the door because she's been sitting in her bed, like thinking about this and not sleeping. She comes out. She's just naked. She doesn't care. Hey,
Capitanios.
I tried to. I've been trying to contact Poseidon. It did not work. I was going to come to you tomorrow, but I assume that's why you're here.
That was the idea, but you look comfortable already, so
Let's give it another shot. Maybe perhaps with the right things this time.
perhaps in the morning I received a message from Phoebe.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it will give me some time to prepare. I have not delivered the bread to Poseidon from the last time when he thought did not go so well. I am tripping all over myself today.
Then we will wait for tomorrow then.
I will show up first thing in the morning.
I'll be ready.
Good night, Capitanios.
Get some good sleep.
Good
You
s-
too. Get some good sleep.
Good sleep.
That's funny.
You peer beyond Astrid into the room, and you see the reptilian eyes of Ma'al from the blankets just kind of like open and close again.
Good night, Maal.
Good night.
Thank you.
I told you I never sleep.
Astrid's, I'm imagining Astrid's face, and she closes the door, just going.
Maul is also naked.
That's such grace.
I don't sleep in the nude. I stay awake in the nude.
Oh God, Maal's
pretty
Chuck
good.
Norris. She doesn't sleep. She waits.
Beautiful. All right.
And Themista will go back to her room.
I'm assuming then that is all for tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one small thing.
Sure.
I'm just continuing the previous experiment that I've been tinkering with for
Sure.
a little
Sure.
bit.
Sure.
I'm not gonna make myself too exhausted.
Okay. You. Hold on. No. As you are working on this, and you're kind of just like, at one point, you're almost feeding energy into the crystal as you're trying to see if you can get it to expand or move a little bit. You keep running into the same problem. There seems to be something that is missing, and you can't quite figure out what it is. You can create or shift and move things only so much with the matter that is presented to you.
Mhm.
And there's almost this notion that keeps popping in your head as you glance at the other crystals and kind of wonder if there's a way that you can take from one to add to the other, but there's not a, to your current knowledge, there's not a clean way to do that without the loss of knowledge, either from the original, I guess we call it the original host, the original like creation of yours, or shifting something in such a way, because this is a material that really no one has that you know of, no one else really has had a speciality in creating. I think you had put it once that you had created a iPad out of Tinker Toys, basically, or something to that
Out of
effect.
rocks.
Out of rocks. So it's like,
Considering the long-standing joke about a computer is that we have tricked a rock, or we've trapped lightning in a rock and tricked it into thinking, is what a processor is.
yeah.
So
So there
he
is,
did that.
yeah. So there is, to that degree, like there's got to be something else that you're just not familiar with yet. But your ideas are going in the right direction. You're just missing ingredients, basically.
So I've had a lot of very long talks, debates, experiments working with Tali. And her whole thing is more transmutation, which is effectively alchemy.
Right.
Which is the basis for chemistry and everything else related to that. And equivalent exchange, as above, so below, is still poignant. In order to create something, you have to take something from somewhere else. And what he's trying to figure out is if the crystal that he's holding is the reason why he can't correct it further, refine it further, is because he doesn't have the raw material to rearrange everything in it. It needs, was it in valence electrons have to balance kind of thing in those kind of equations, and he doesn't have the raw matter to work with. Except he kind of does with the other crystals floating around there. But doing so would either lessen or destroy them, or whatever information is in them
Would be
gone.
lost.
So I suppose then what he would do is cycle through one of the crystals, because he was learning a few things from there that were at least leading him towards some spell work, filling in a few gaps in his equations. And he's trying to see if he can at least move the information over somehow. Not a process that he really knew was possible, but now he's wondering if they had to be used somehow, some way with that in mind. Is there some Cleosite USB protocol that he can transfer things over so that at least the product is still there,
Right.
while the knowledge is preserved? He'd be prioritizing keeping the knowledge rather than trying to just make something else better. That doesn't feel very in keeping with him.
A puzzle, to be sure, but one that you could probably find the answer to, or get the answer to. Okay. Okay. All right. You then get some sleep. Eventually. At some point.
Yeah. He's not going to do the irresponsible thing and make himself a overtired burden the next day.
Right.
He knows that there has to be a bit of a deadline on, no, I have to go to sleep now.
Exactly. It's a school night.
Don't say that to the teacher.
It's just reminding you have work the next day.
Yeah, he just shows up with shades, hair of the dog, coffee, and just goes, I just read in pairs. I don't care.
Movie day.
Movie day.
Congratulations,
He can
kids.
so
You're
easily
watching
do
The
that.
Godfather.
Minor illusion, and it's just the whole movie.
Okay. As you all get to sleep eventually, Astrid, one of the last things you do is you finally settle in for sleep. You ever had that feeling whenever you are sleeping that you are falling in your bed?
All the time. Not all the time, but yes. Yeah.
Where you're just like kind of completely peacefully laying there.
It's like,
And then all of a sudden you're like, you catch you like do the cat sprawl thing, just like imagine that. But it's not a fall. It's like a slip. You slide into unconsciousness. And then you just feel yourself rocking back and forth. Almost as if you were on a ship again. And you can just feel that part of the dream. The splash of the waves around you. You find yourself on the Hawk of the Sea in the middle of the ocean. And it's like this odd twilight of purples and gold. The air around you, you cannot see beyond like 60 feet or so from the edges of the ship. It's just like this fog, but the fog looks odd, like this shifting color of dreamscape. Golds, blues, violets, purples. It moves and it moves and it moves. And then the voice comes through.
Astrid. Astrid.
Astrid. The voice changed from deep to feminine almost. You see, as you turn around to face the sound, a being made of water, translucent, with golden eyes, fins on arms and head, almost like a triton, but different somehow. The figure lithe, almost you realize a reflection of yourself, but made of water.
Right.
You called the Lord of the Sea. The Lord of the Sea knows you seek him. He fears for his creation. He fears for the sea. He fears for the creatures in the sea. What know you of Serapis?
He sank many a ship. Claimed the lives of many sailors. And he claimed the life of my companion, Miko.
The seas claim many a life. Not just the
No.
creatures within.
I also know that Cerberus has been changed. Beyond his form, his natural form, that Poseidon has given him. Phobos. And the darkness that has spread onto Cerberus. Cerberus is now slain by my hand.
Cerberus is slain. What know you of Phobos?
Know that it is consumption. That's all it wants.
The ship has faded away, and you just see the wood beneath your feet of the deck. But now that fog has closed in towards just you and the other figure. The rocking has
What?
stopped. And she takes a
Walk
step
up to-
closer. Yeah. You both take a step closer
Right,
together.
yeah, at the same time. Is she mirroring my movements?
Kind of.
Okay. Are you a nymph?
I am a daughter of the sea. But also a
Suppose-
reflection, as with water. The plague is not to be underestimated. Do not take its poison lightly.
Some visions of its destruction.
Then you know. You know what it's capable of.
I know. You know there are worlds beyond ours who have been claimed by it. And my world already seems so big. I can't imagine an entire civilization being wiped out by something like this. We cannot let this happen again.
And you know why the gods fear it. Why they must do and sacrifice everything to make sure that it does not leave here.
It does not find Baldura.
There, upon the usage of the word, is a ripple across the aquatic form, as if you speaking the word made like a pebble hit a pond. It like hits the face, and it goes all the way down.
Sorry. Let the name leaves many scars, I apologize.
I hope that one day it leaves no more scars on anyone. The voice begins to shift again from her voice to the one of Poseidon. Watch your allies. But know that you cannot fall to the plague, or it will spread. You hold within you the key.
And she reaches for her star chart. I assume this was the key.
Yes. It is. But you and it are the same. The creature steps forward again, this time not mirroring you. You're within like a foot of each other. Which kind of it looks, even though there is no pupil, kind of looks up and down as if looking at you. an astral born of Mir. I do not know if we are lucky or cursed. Or never has a key brought forth itself before. The migration was a time of wonders and mystery that we still do not know. Dream begins to fade.
7.
It stops. It holds, waiting for whatever you might say next.
Okay.
Yeah, it stops as in like it stops
okay.
fading. Sorry.
Okay. Can you reach out to someone for me? For us?
Figure that had started to turn away as the dream had started to fade turns back to you.
Lethe has taken something from us. We want it back.
The figure looks down, then back up at you.
And she's gonna kind of like upright herself. We have a collective memory of something when we fought at the Atlas. Something that's been wiped from us, and none of us can remember what it is, but we recall shadows of this, whispers of blue. There is a song that I hear in my head when I think of these memories. Can you please just ask her just to talk to us, at least? And if she could deliver the memory back to us. The more that we know about the past, the better we can ascertain how to fix what is coming in the future. So we don't make the same mistake again. If we're going to be Orphics, we need to know what the other Orphics know. We're of the Earth. Yes. But we're still one of you.
I will take your plea to Zeus, for she is under his command. But know that all Orphics, all of the Draen, have had something taken from them by her to protect us all. She does not take memory lightly. There are things that she takes in order to protect But we of the fold are of agreement. The truth should be shared. Even though it might cost more than you might imagine.
Drama of your people. Needing to be wiped from some of your memories. I personally don't agree with. When I am out on the ocean and with my crew, and one of them passes, one of them is slain, crushed, or drowns, they know what they signed up for, but each death makes my crew stronger, makes us want to protect each other more. It should not be wiped away from memory. So whatever it was that is lingering in the back of our minds, and perhaps yours, and every god, yes, it should be. The truth should be set free.
The figure turns away and begins to fade, as does the dream.
Thank you, Poseidon.
And back to sleep. Poseidon will remember this. Okay. That was unexpected, but very interesting. All right, come morning.
I would, upon waking, like to reach out to Apollo in that new way again.
Mhm.
But I think in the middle of it, she's trying to fight it, but her thoughts are starting to head towards Corinthos. So in the middle of trying to concentrate and reach out to Apollo with her sun powers, part of her thoughts keep going to just down the road.
What do you say in this time of prayer and thought?
I think for Phoebe, in this new way, like we established last week, it's less like words and more just like thought and meditation and like reaching out with energy. Because she's not trying to like pray in the way that she's been taught to pray. But yeah, kind of more vibes based.
What? Roll for me a religion check. And then also an arcana as well.
Okay. Religion is only a 9. And arcana is a 13.
I'm assuming, Themisto, you are there beside her.
I am.
In these morning prayers.
Yes.
Okay. What I have some ideas and thoughts. I want to see, Themisto, what is your process? Because these might intermingle a little.
Mm-hmm. Well, Phoebe, are you standing, kneeling, seated?
It
lying
would
in bed
be
thinking?
kneeling.
Okay.
And kind of that like
Themisto-
first ray of morning light.
Themista will be kneeling next to her, off to the side, so that in that first ray of morning light, like she's sharing it, but she's letting it like touch Phoebe first, and then after it like kind of angles from touching her, that's where Themisto's sword point is gonna be, like right close next to her as she goes through her usual ritual. But given what happened the day before with Phoebe really starting to glow, Themisto keeps kind of glancing up between each motion, looking at Phoebe as she performs this ritual, doing what she normally does, with the one side with the wine guided towards the point of light, the way Apollo guides us through the day, placing the dirt on the other side for Gaia, and taking through all of those actions.
Okay. Phoebe, as you...
Does she notice Phoebe's facial expression at all sort of like shifting?
I would say, yeah. There's that like purposeful concentration on her face, I would imagine.
Any touches of like the, oh no, I'm thinking about Corinthos?
I think maybe a little, yeah, like a little lost looking, like a furrowed brow.
Okay. When she sees that during the ritual, not interrupting her motions, but when she sees Phoebe's face, she's going to say, "My sunbeam, you are the light, lighter than air. Relax."
Phoebe, roll that Arcana with advantage.
Okay. Okay, so it went from a 13 to an 18.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Chill out, hot stuff.
Oh my god. You, as you are focused in on these thoughts, and you keep, it's like having a train of thought, and then that intrusive bubblegum commercial song popping in your head, and then it like fading out, and then you go back to trying to concentrate, and then another intrusive like other ditty from some other commercial pops in your. It's that kind of feeling of like you're trying to focus in on one thing, and then the thoughts of your journey today keep roiling within that. At some point, you don't know when, you lose focus. And with your eyes closed, begin to see a swirling of brightly lit plasma. Like a sunspot, or like the arc of flame jetting from the sun that causes this like ribbon of fire. Except that this ribbon of fire is coming from your point of view. And you look down with your eyes still closed. In your mental image of yourself, you see a burst of fire coming from your chest, just like this arc of fire that just kind of reaches out and yet still connects within. And then another ribbon. And though your inner eye is darkened from beyond, within that darkness, you see the dimming light of something approaching. It's like being in a fog covered room with a light that is under a blanket. It's just like this really dim. How do I put it? It's a really dim light that's coming towards you, and then you realize that your tendril of light is reaching out to grab another tendril of light that just kind of wrap around themselves like a handshake. And that moment of contact between the two threads of light, you see for an instant the fire reach forward and brighten exponentially within the breath of a second. Blink of an eye, you see that fire race towards you, almost like a the string of a stick of dynamite. You see that go like that. It's like that, but it's just so much 100 times faster. Just whoosh, the fire races towards you, and your eyes are filled with light. And for the outside, just this moment of Themisto saying that, her head down as she seems to concentrate, she just kind of floats her head upwards, and this light kind of just comes from her neck for just a brief second, and then she opens her eyes. It's almost like a passing flash, just like, and then it just kind of fades, and she opens her eyes. And for Phoebe, it's felt like your eyes were closed for hours, maybe, even though you know somehow that it wasn't. And for Themisto, it was just like one moment to the next.
There
Well-
was a spark again with you.
Well, I mean, there is always a spark with you, but I think you mean something different.
That is not what I mean this time. You glowed, but like a flash of light, like something had passed in front of the sun for a brief moment and then let it shine again.
When I was meditating, there were just like ribbons of sunlight making their way out and back. And when they joined together, it got so bright. Aaron, that
What?
thing that was approaching, did it stay vague? Did it feel like a person?
Stayed vague,
Okay.
but you were reaching out to a light that is out there also, and it's reaching back, whatever it is.
What did it mean to you? What did it feel like?
I was reaching out. Something is reaching back, but I could not see it or connect with it. But I will keep trying.
Of course. I think this would have sounded blasphemous coming from me only a few weeks ago, but perhaps whatever it is you are reaching to, you reach to it not the way that I give prayers to the gods, but the way the gods reach to whatever it is they reach out for. Huh? It makes sense that it would take time to know this.
That is how I'm trying to reach for Apollo. If he has been my brother for so long, then reaching out to him as a brother. Maybe without the teasing I would give him if we were face to face, though.
Perhaps that is the missing ingredient then to your rituals.
As soon as I see him again, I'm going to let him have an earful.
uh, I am glad it seems that you are finding a way to connect. I can see it, the way you glow in these mornings.
I'm glad you can see it, since I cannot see myself. But to know that something is going on, not just in my head.
One of these times, if you can keep your eyes open, I shall let you borrow the gift that Usurt gave me. And the mister's gonna take out the little polished clamshell and flip it open again for just a moment.
You will look
Let it
into
kind of
it.
glimmer in the sunlight there between the two of them.
And seeing the two of them side by side in the mirror, Phoebe's gonna smile, and then she's also gonna go, I wonder if it's going to be like trying to keep your eyes open when you sneeze.
And that I cannot say. But maybe I will sit in front of you and you will have an incentive to keep your eyes open to look at me, huh?
Well, then I won't be able to concentrate.
Enough of this. Let's go greet the rest of our party. I promised Astrid I would help her with a prayer, so...
Yes, and speaking of brothers, I need to go check on Cypress.
And I should check on Davos and Xantis as well.
Okay.
And this morning, instead of beating on the door like I did the morning before, I'll be like kinder in the waking up of Cypress if he's not yet up.
If you knock on the door, it'll open on its own and slowly swing inwards, regardless of whether or not Cypress is awake. Because Laertes he went to bed at a reasonable time. He never said he wouldn't get up early to continue his work.
Laertes, do you sleep?
He's not even looking at you. He's clearly focusing on his work. And goes, I slept enough.
Are you telling me the truth?
I've had enough mothers.
I don't mean it like that. Okay. Cypress. Cypress, you're muted.
Cypress, with his eyes open but not sounding asleep. I'm awake. Throughout this morning, he woke up kind of after Laertes did. And while Laertes was silently doing his work, probably some motion in Cypress's restlessness awoke him. And what he's been doing for the last however much time, he's been kind of laying on his back and meditating and reflecting, and of how while the major goal of his life is before him, there is so much still to do. And he would be doing wrong to start closing off to everything else and the needs of the world, much less his friends, if he started to get tunnel vision on the way towards what he's trying to do. So he's been trying to reflect on the passage and reflect on how much he still needs to be open and be involved and not just head towards Thebes. But he rises.
Baby's gonna hop onto your bed. All right, scoot over.
What? Oh, what? He
Scoot
will
over.
though. Okay.
Hey, how are you
I
doing?
thought you were trying to get me up.
I mean, I am, but I'm also gonna say hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Are you telling me the truth? Something
Laertes
about this
leaves
room
at
is
that
really
question.
shifty.
I cannot attest to whether or not Laertes is telling the truth, but
No, I wasn't
am.
asking Laertes this time. I was asking you.
I know you're asking me. I'm trying to relate to everyone else's conversations. Yes, I'm doing well. I am no less worried and excited and stressed and concerned, but they are in their proper boxes, and we're good. We're heading there.
She's gonna put her head on your shoulder. You know,
How
you
are
don't
you?
have to keep your feelings in boxes.
I intend to let it all out at appropriate and beneficial times. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do
look
not
at you.
feel. I don't feel all bottled up. But how about you?
We've got to get through to get where we need to go. So what will happen will happen.
You have us here.
Oh, I've been practicing a little more. And she's gonna
Excellent.
try to just cast light in her hand, and maybe, I don't know if like its appearance is adjusted any. Because I know she won't be able to recreate what she just did in morning prayers and meditation, but just to show off a little bit to Cypress.
Okay. Sure. A
Look,
little bit.
I find that's so fascinating that you all are able to project yourselves in this way.
you literally glow.
I was about to praise myself. I mean that.
I mean, aren't you
And
like the
I-
whole champion of a goddess?
Let me finish. I was just saying how I find it fascinating, not that I feel left out, how my friends all seem that their gifts are so performative and so amazing to behold and go beyond yourself. I in no way am doubting my own capabilities. I do have some pew going on. I just
Is
I
that its
can-
official name, the Pew Powers?
No, I don't have a name for it because I don't use it. But most of what I do is pretty much contained here. You see, the most you see is my hair glow and my sword glow, which is
I
very
mean, you're
cool.
not my type, but you are impressive.
You're not my type, but you are impressive.
Look,
But thank you. That was not meant to be a self-disparaging statement.
okay, good.
I'm dazzled by you all.
We are dazzled by you too. Even if you don't trust a single old person that we meet.
They are not all trustworthy, and I find it amazing that you all immediately just throw your
You
lot
know, I
in
think
with...
the projecting thing you talked about last night, you might want to analyze in terms of old people too. Did you have like a mean grandma or something?
Most of the old beings in my life were not humans. So maybe it's alien to me? Maybe I
might
don't
want
know
to
that many
process that and unpack it.
old humans, old humanoids. Age is so much wider and different for elementals and the like.
And what happens if you become a very, very old Orphic one day? Are you going to distrust yourself?
Should I?
I don't know, you tell me.
Oh no.
Are
Then
you going to turn
probably.
evil when you're old?
I think I'll be a very untrustworthy old man.
Oh no. You're just going to be sitting on the
And you're
steps
going
of
to
the
be a
Acropolis
super
yelling at the young
untrustworthy old
folks.
lady.
Good. Well, come on, get up, stretch, do whatever you need to do. Apparently, we're going to find someone for you to fight today.
He like tries to lean into a good stretch and something catches and he's like, oh shit.
Hold on,
Give me a
right there, just
Ow.
he's gonna
Yes.
take her knuckle in, like,
Oh,
gosh, are you sure you're not already an old man?
I better not be. Oh god. Give me a second. And he'll like
Get up, and
roll
she'll just, like,
sideways
smack
out of
you.
bed. And just do some stretches as we all head together.
Laertes, the gall of this young whippersnapper.
I left the room as soon as they started getting into personal stuff. So it's just like, I'm just going to be willfully ignorant of all of that.
Friendship, ew.
Feelings.
No, as in
Feelings are
giving
not
them the
science.
respectful privacy to have their little moment that I don't need to be involved in. I don't need to make it about me.
Okay. One by one, you guys all gather together in the morning. Oh my gosh. Kyrillos, the owner of this particular house of travelers, has prepared a nice little breakfast for you. A very stark breakfast, but a breakfast nonetheless. You can see now through open windows that the rain that had fallen the night before has dissipated as the sun has begun to rise, and the smell of mud is coming in from the windows outside. You can even hear it as people are walking by that it has become kind of a mess outside a little bit. You guys gather together to prepare for the next day. Margeta, Mikos, and Mog are quiet, have already eaten apparently by the time you guys gather together, and seem to be awaiting Amadeo's word. As you can see that Mog and Mikos are on the outside of one of the windows, just kind of watching people go by. Margeta seems to be on the inside of one of the windows closest to them, watching people go by, but also keeping an eye on those two. I'm assuming Amadeo is just making himself comfortable wherever.
Oh,
You
he's
guys
very comfortable.
Yeah. As you guys finish up your food and are ready to go about your day.
Capitanios, Themisto will say. Probably watching both of the Capitanios acknowledge. Because, I should say, Capitanios Astrid this time, and but good morning to you too, Amadeo. So, if you needed help with a prayer, is this still something you wanted assistance with?
Last night, Poseidon came to me in a dream. I was able to speak to him. Though I still think it would be a good idea to give him an offering as thanks for hearing my words.
I like this. I would suggest in that case for an offering. When you are on the sea, it is best, as sure as you know, and to give Poseidon something he cannot easily obtain. But as we are away from his domain, I would suggest giving something from his domain, presenting it to the earth, sort of way.
Okay. So, some fish. Normally I slay a horse or maybe a goat and throw it in the ocean, but
Yes, I would say either one that is quite beautiful or several. And then we can bury them outside town, and I can sprinkle some incense and they...
Then I would say then we would go out and find some fish to try and I'll just buy some fish and then we can do the offering. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If there are people who have fished and then come out this far.
I'm sure you can find some fish
Mhm.
that you can do that on your way out.
You said offer Poseidon something that he does not, that like would be rare for him, right? Do you think we could have any? I don't imagine much wood grows in the ocean.
Yes, but the ships are common on the ocean, no?
That's fair.
And he definitely has a bunch of those.
The other Capitanios agrees.
He has taken many, and he takes more by the day.
Perhaps stone, or I don't know. I'm sure yours is better than what I would come up with, Astrid. I don't have anything in mind.
When we must travel across the strait to get to Thieves, that is when we should offer something that is rare to him, because we will once again be on the ocean. It is honoring his domain with something unique versus expanding his domain by offering something else from it when we are not there, you see?
Would we, from this town, this is something that I want to do today. If we don't get to an area that has ocean or sea, then I'd probably want to do the offering that's on land. But if we are Aaron, then I would want to buy like a goat, I think.
Yeah,
Of course, above table, everyone should of course remember that the Mister's rules of practice are perhaps a little outdated given what we know.
Yeah. No.
But it does seem to have some sort of effect. So
The placebo spellcasting modifier.
exactly.
You got your somatic, your
Well, I mean,
spoken
when you
placebo.
give a gift to someone, you aren't implying that they can't go out and buy it for themselves. You're like, I thought of you, and
I'm
this
saving
is
you a trip.
of my own means.
I did do a little bit of research just on like normally what you would give to Poseidon. Normally it's an ox or a
Excellent.
horse or a goat or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
so
you're
it's
throwing
it in the
it
ocean,
tracks,
yeah.
yeah.
What was that, Phoebe?
I was just said that horses, I think, were in his domain.
Yeah.
Seahorses?
Just horses in general.
Okay.
I think he supposedly made them.
Yeah, that was one of the things that you would give to him.
That is Streamy being a future queer kid having her Greek mythology phase.
Oh
Phase?
God.
Lifestyle.
Is that what Total War did to me?
Can you imagine just someone offering like a tiny little seahorse just Poseidon?
Adorable.
I have
Right?
this
Oh,
one.
you shouldn't have.
He's just like, it's so cute.
He's like, bring me more of these, or I will sink your ship.
Laertes has had his fingers crossed for a while.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
During our nonsense.
I mean, that is what we do here. Two things. During the talk about, Poseidon has many ships, how did Amadeo react to me on the little glib comment? Did it seem like, yes, he has many ships, 1,000-yard stare, or just, he has many
No,
Giggle,
no. Just, this was at the expense of other less skilled captains, not himself.
Amadeo's
The
been
ships
making a
of a
lot of
bunch of
offerings.
scrubs.
Yeah.
That maybe
I'm just
He
trying
has
to
a
see where
bunch
his
of
ship
he
loser
would never
ships.
admit that, but
For you, Poseidon.
perhaps.
Fire!
That's right. That looks like it has a lot of things he doesn't usually get. We'll be taking some, of course.
It's a finder's fee. As they're walking along, they're still talking about offerings. Perhaps an idea is to make different use of something he already has abundance of. Some kind of tea leaves, so that he can use the water.
This is a nice thought. I like it.
Graham's got to
One
bring
of-
tea into it.
Look, my cup is getting empty, and I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Poseidon is a thirsty bitch.
One of the things we were encouraged to do at the temple when devising our own practice was to devise our own practice, as it is each of us who wish to be Pythia are supposed to understand the ritual in our own way and come to a way to communicate with Apollo that feels right for us. So, to extend that is not a bad ritual so much as it is more personal. That is to
You
say,
think
I
there's-
agree.
I promise I will not drag out any longer this idea of what to offer Poseidon. But do you think there's a way we can offer him fire? And not just like light something ablaze on the ocean, but like
Vikings
know,
have been doing that
contain
for a
the
while.
I mean that's one thing, but like can we contain or bottle a flame? Because I highly doubt the ocean itself has any access to that, but Laertes would know better than me.
I
They
feel
cease-
out of character. You just asked Laertes to invent Greek fire.
That's so cool. Yes. This is an interesting thought. This is one where I would be cautious, though. Think of Prometheus, and the relationship with taking or transferring fire and giving it to somewhere else with the gods is a touchy subject. So it could be seen as a good thing, but then again,
We'll go with the fish idea.
Some fish, some herbs.
He like holds a hand over his like lower stomach as if he were feeling something being removed.
I love the notion though that Laertes is now going, I wonder.
He starts doing air math, like how napalm.
Oh no.
Lovely. Yeah, so Tyrins is like at the top of a hill, probably about 4 miles from the sea. It's not far off, but it's visible. But you're now going inland to Argos, which is also not that far. It's like it's probably another couple miles to get to Argos itself. So yeah, you're able to find, there's still a good amount of markets.
Fishermen.
Yeah, and some fishermen. So you can find whatever it is that you're looking for. If fish is the direction you're wanting to go, then it is not hard to find some fish that are strung up. As you are leaving, like all of you to make perception checks, please.
To perceive.
That's
22.
Ooh.
Finally, a decent roll.
22.
15.
11.
Themista was quite caught up in the conversation. I guess it's really her wheelhouse. So she got an 11 on perception.
Nice.
At least she didn't roll snake eyes.
And then it's
one way.
of an interesting note that both Laertes and Amadeo listen in to the conversations, not only amongst their group, but also amongst the people of the town as you are leaving Tyrion, stopping for things to sacrifice and then heading out again. And it's during the market that Laertes and then Amadeo, just because he already knows everything, but Laertes, you hear the hot gossip of a man that was found dead in an alleyway the night before. Apparently, he had been overindulging and had passed out during the rain and found himself dead. There had been no signs of struggle, nor were there any sort of wounds on him. It just seemed that he had died at some point during the evening and into the night. It wasn't until the next day that his body was found. The coloration around his mouth was curious, though. Purplish and white, as if he had ingested some sort of poison or some sort of maybe too much wine is what is one particular rumor mill is just like, oh, He had the stains of wine, the stains of Bacchus. Well, I guess not Bacchus, the stains of Dionysus. Sorry, David. Bacchus hasn't been invented yet.
Who is this Bacchus and what's he doing?
I know.
Though we did
Bacchus
use
is
the
pretty
word
old.
bacchanalia.
Yeah, but Bacchus is particularly Roman.
Mm.
Bacchus is going around kissing people and then they end up drowning.
Oh,
It's a really good kiss.
yeah. But Amadeo, you already know this story, but I would say this is a not to use an 18 and up as a modifier, but an 18 and up is like pained hearing this because it's not something that would like be spread. It's not the talk of the town because it's just a one random event. So it's just like happens to be something that you barely overheard sort of situation. Because that's not like everyone's talking about it.
Just so I'm aware,
Hmm?
we all knew what Phoebe knew, right? The thing that she went to go confront Amadeo about. I don't remember now.
Yeah, we
yeah.
all,
Okay.
Davos and Xanthus came and told all of us, and I was the one that was like, I'm going to go give him an earful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
you would
you
have been able
got
to
an
put two and two
eyeful.
together.
Okay.
Because Estrid was like, "You get the guy," and then he was like, "Actually, I like murdered him." And then
He was
Oh,
like,
I
what
got him
guy?
all right.
Oh,
No,
wait.
he was like, what guy? I don't know
Yeah.
what you mean.
The implication. Yeah.
Think just gonna wait to deal with that until we are not in earshot of the town.
All right. We'll say about a mile out of town. Mr. and Astrid, you make your sacrifice to
She'll, with Themisto's blessings, she'll take the fish, and bury them into the ground on the side of the road, with some herbs and the incense that you wanted to sprinkle on top.
Of course.
beautiful.
And then
Wow.
she'll repeat whatever words Themisto would recommend for this offering.
Nice.
Themisto would, given that Astrid recently received a visit from Poseidon, focus on thanking him for what he's done already, rather than asking for more, and an acknowledgement that we're part of the same little secret crew.
All right. As you do this, we're gonna go ahead and go on break because it is already 9, and time got away from me.
God.
Yeah. All right. So don't go anywhere. As we continue this journey, we will be right. We'll be right back. Okay. We are back, baby. All right, let's see here. All right. Okay. Walking along the path, along the plain here, as you like pass a couple of the hills and into the plains between hills towards the city of Argos in the distance. Your crew, Amadeo, keeps an eye out on the horizon. The talk of the town still going back and forth about the wild men that have been spotted attacking people along the way. So you kind of have them both front and back, kind of just kind of keeping an eye on the grassy hills, the flowing, the flow with the wind. So it's kind of one of those things you approach, like, you know, a couple of fields, farm fields, a couple of really tall, like where there's like tall, that coastal grass kind of situation. So you see the wind and it just makes these like waves that undulate on the of the grass across the way. Perfect spots for ambush along the path, but yet you don't see anything. You also funny. You also see a couple other travelers coming back and forth, apparently making the trek or the journey between Tyrins and between Argos, as they're like bringing goods. The ones coming from Argos, you see there's a couple of merchants that are laden down with various crafted things. You see some carts that are carrying pottery very carefully and well wrapped, but still like large things of pottery. Some seem to be carrying construction materials, whether they be really well crafted beams of wood or pylons, because you always need more of those, and the like. Laertes, what were we gonna say?
I like to sidle up next to Amadeo and get just a little bit of a. Well, at least he's not prancer-sizing.
Now he is.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay. That's fantabulous. So as we're walking, I'm gonna try and get him just a little aside from any other conversation that's happening, so we can do this a little more discreetly. I assume you heard some of the same things I did as we were leaving town.
What things would those be?
Your man's indiscretion.
Did Maug steal someone's wife again?
No more bodies. If they attack us, that's one thing.
I have spoken to my man.
And
you should not have anything to worry about.
I hope so. I would like to see you actually paid. And I'm going to start walking ahead.
Amadeo thinking to himself, you know, if we turn back now, they probably would make it. It's not like I can take a picture of them in Thebes and show the kings, right? They would have to take my word for it either way.
Like paste it on.
The early versions of Photoshop. You just get some random
Is
artist.
this a believable
They just
like,
draw-
photo ID?
They just draw the stick figures and go, that's Laertes, that's Phoebe and Themisto. Ah, this
Yeah,
is
pay-
proof.
Pay a Theban artist to draw the party.
They're
But it's
very
a
good.
really bad caricature.
That's the only way
They
to
don't recognize
authenticate
humanoids
life.
that well. We would not be recognizable.
They make marble statues out of you, and I have to take them back to the kings. And that's how
Yes. Guess we're staying in Thebes for a while.
Hell yeah.
Phoebe, what were you gonna say?
I want to kind of tap Cypress on the shoulder and then go up to Malg. Malg, are you ready? Finally ready for a fight?
What, right now?
Aren't you scared?
No. You think you could handle what I got here and here?
Feeling pretty good about it. And if any one of your crew wants in on it, Cypress is looking for a fight as well. Again, friendly fight, just to size each other up.
Part of the challenge is trying to keep up with the party without slowing them down.
I'll do it like lunch break.
Okay.
They look over at the captain.
Amadeo kind of shrugs. I'm not much into play fighting, but I'll give you this. You have a minute. If you can tag me, you win.
That was not the terms we agreed on.
I kind of want. Wait.
I know, punching you would be a lot of
Wait.
fun though.
This is separate from what we were hoping for, but now I'm very intrigued. Do you think you can do it, Phoebe?
Absolutely, I could.
Oh, Phoebe, go.
So let me DM get this straight. So you want it's gonna be Phoebe Cypress versus Mog and Amadeo.
Oh,
yes.
Is that what we're
I
doing?
thought that this was a fight, but also Amadeo was being Amadeo and being
Yeah,
like,
I
on a
thought
separate
additional
note,
Amadeo
try
was
and
like
challenge.
the
You
golden
just-
snitch or something.
You just said, is there a crewman that
If
wants
he's
to
the
fight?
second, great.
Mog looks
Okay.
over at Amadeo and just like,
Okay.
Sounded like
Now I am
Mog
following.
was going, okay, I'm down to fight. And Amadeo was like, let's play tag.
That's what
Yeah,
it sounded like.
That's
to
what
me.
I was. I thought
Amadeus
they
was
were
like,
getting
"Try
like
and touch me."
confirmation that fighting was okay from Amadeo, and Amadeo was like, again, like, yeah, golden snitch me in this other fight that's happening.
You get 150 points if you can catch me. Why were they
oh,
playing the rest of the game? It didn't matter.
my goodness.
None of her world building makes sense.
She's not very smart.
Got him.
So, to clarify, Amadeo is the second person in this 2 versus 2 fight.
If that's what you want.
Cypress,
Yes.
do you want to kick
definitely down.
Amadeo's butt?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So,
And to make this not last a long time, if we would just want to do like best 2 out of 3 rolls or something, I don't know how you want to do it.
sure. Yeah.
Because in character, I want to do this, but I also don't want to like make everyone sit around and like do a whole extended
a whole
scuffle.
fight, a whole kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let me make sure I am reading their sheet correctly. Which I'm pretty sure that I. Okay. All right. Good lord. Why? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to just go ahead and roll initiative. And oh wait, I actually can do this. That would make more sense. Beautiful. All right, what did you guys roll? Just so we know who goes first.
14.
14. Cypress.
A 15.
15.
What are we rolling?
Initiative.
Initiative, just to see who goes first in this little thing.
22.
Amadeo. So it's gonna be Amadeo and then Mog. And then Phoebe. What did you roll just now, Cypress?
I rolled a 15. What I think it was one more than what.
Yeah, you got
yeah.
one higher than I did.
Yeah. Cypress. And then. Okay. So we'll say around a circle of palms that you guys take a break for noonday as you are just outside of Argos. Okay. Amadeo, you and Cypress are going toe to toe, and Cypress's goal is just to be able to tag you, correct?
Yep.
All right. Mog throws battle axe down to the ground, and it does a little gets stuck into the ground with a haft like sticking up at an angle, like cracks her knuckles outwards, cracks the knuckles inwards, like gets shoulders ready, and then just goes ah, and gets ready to go. So then, I guess, yeah. All right. I need an actual D20 for this because my computer's doing the slow thing because I had forgotten I turned it off. Okay. You're so to do the attacks versus each other, or what we're gonna do. You're just still gonna have to just try and hit the beat the DC of the armor class. Just easy peasy. So in the first round. Cypress versus Amadeo. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll do Mog and Phoebe. So go for it, Cypress. What are you gonna do?
We're trying to not use any of our resources for the sake of this, so that makes sense. Cypress will attempt to dash forward quicker than any of you have seen him move as of yet, with his 40 movement speed, and he's going to swing his shield at you, which is actually him swinging his sword, so I get the +7. Trying to bash you. That is a 19.
19?
That is my armor class. For the sake of making it a little more interesting, since I had the initiative,
Please.
Can we say I dodged? You want to roll a disadvantage?
Sure. I'm all for interesting. Disadvantage? I'm afraid
Yes.
the second roll was better.
Oh,
But
well, there you go.
I'm more than happy to come up with a way
Oh,
that
no.
he extend this longer.
No, he hits him with the shield, and Amadeus says, "You win."
Oh. Well, good.
What a hero.
Now I feel foolish. Cypress gets like kind of red in the faces, and he's like, good match.
Davos and Xanthus go.
Did I hit you too hard?
And there's like blood just shooting out of his nose.
Oh shit.
No, it's fine.
Oh no.
What have I done?
Okay.
It's been a while since I've been on a practice field where there's like wooden swords and like no one really gets more than a few nicks.
All right. Let's see. That would be so then with the Mog versus Phoebe, Mog's first punch comes in with a 22.
That hits.
What did you roll?
Okay, the first one is cocked. 16.
16. Okay. So she's just gonna they're gonna do like a grapple, so they're gonna just grab your arm and like they're gonna come in with a punch, and then as you're like blocking and defending, grab your arm and like swing you around to throw you to the ground, but like uses instead the momentum to grab you from like the side / behind, looking like they're gonna get ready to like throw you over, like swing you around and then gonna go whoosh to like throw you over their shoulder like forward again.
I'm assuming that 16 missed.
Yes. Oh no, 16 is the armor class. Wait, yes, right? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to take that movement of them having flung me over the shoulder and getting ready to like do again, and then in turn use their own momentum against them and fling them over my shoulder.
Okay.
So it's just like, oh.
It's just a wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since Amadeo, since he had tagged you, do you want to do anything else or just leave it at that?
Oh no, he wasn't super invested in this. He doesn't care.
Cypress puts his like sword away and just kind of crouches down, holding his knees.
Victory wasn't as sweet as you hoped.
I feel like I've been pranked.
25 was their next one.
Yep.
So the wrestling match continues. She's gonna try and shove you backwards. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a dirty 20.
Yeah. All right. So you succeed and don't get pushed back. So you're able to kind of keep up with the block.
I want to. So I rolled another 16 for my second strike. If they just tried to push me, then their footing is a little off balance leaning into it, and maybe they're not as grounded in their stance. I want to sweep a leg out.
Okay. So train a grapple.
No, just like knock like the back leg out so it drops into a knee.
Okay, drops into a knee.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first miss because this will be a 9 on their end. So they're gonna try and go as you drop them to the knee. They're gonna try and spin from one knee to the other and swing a meaty fist down to try and like knock your legs out from under you, but you're able to like cartwheel over it.
45 speed. Okay, and
aware of them, honey.
my next one misses also. It is only a 10.
All right. So 2 strikes.
We are tied.
2 hits. 2
hits each.
2 ties and then 2 misses.
Uh-huh.
All right. We'll do one more round.
There was like banter during this time where Cypress asks Amadeo next to him was like, "Did you have anything to like dodge or?"
I don't know.
The next one is
that's the end of the conversation.
The next one is a 13.
Misses.
Okay.
And then I got a 17.
That also hits.
Okay, so still being down on their knees, I want to do kind of a very capoeira move and like kind of balance down on one hand and kick out with the feet to like knock them down on their face.
Okay.
And then like brush off the dust and stand up, help them up.
there is a moment when you're grab to help up. They take your arm. Amadeo, you see this, as you know Mog very well. There's an almost this like close to unbridled fury in their eyes, and you can see them reeling back for a strike. Like this is
what can I do about this?
That is up to you.
I would like to. Shit.
Make a Constitution saving throw. You execute.
This is not in the rules.
Sorry.
But
you're fine.
can I use shield on Phoebe?
I will say that
Like completely against the rules, 0% chance that she.
I also
Yeah.
have a fancy new thing. If I can find where on my page it is.
well,
Doesn't she have
this is
She has
more
like
of
15 shield cards.
yeah. This is more of you realizing that Mog is letting the anger get the better of her.
Mhm,
even
not
though
something I'll be able to read on them
Not
yet.
not something right. Exactly. This is something that he would be able to see. You don't have to necessarily do anything, but if you or like do an action, so to speak. But there are command words, whistles, and other things that you can use as the captain to kind of like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Okay. How about this? Let's Misty Step in between the two of them, and I'll just say Maug.
You 1 minute you're helping Maug up, and then you see for a split second the fist bunched up, and like the veins in their arm and neck have now like as they were in a rage, right? And it is now like this fist is about to come up, and all of a sudden Amadeo is in one place right next to Cypress, and then the next he appears between the two, and Amadeo catches fist in his hand, and just like in between the two, and the tone of voice that you have heard in Amadeo up to this point is so completely different than the tone he just used that it kind of like more than the impact of fist in hand that you would normally hear a smack for, right? This was a really loud smack, and this was a really serious like dad tone to the point of it being like a very high-ranking superior to that of Allure. That there's a little bit of a shockwave of like, oh shit, that kind of goes through everybody in the party. Everybody probably except Margetta and Mikos. They have seen this before.
The Misto had been like cheering and whooping, but definitely goes silent.
It was a good fight, Mog. But you can't let your rage get the better of you when it doesn't need to. Your enemies will use it against you.
As she's saying that, Amadeo is going to kind of give her a, I got this. He's going to look back at Maug. It was a good fight. Shall we continue?
You can see the veins starting to go in on arm and neck and forehead. But Mog says nothing. Laertes, we're gonna say.
Very quick. While I was watching this idly, I was also, as things got a little more tense at the end here, Laertes would have looked at the Spartan Bros for a moment to see how they're reacting.
Make an insight check.
Okay. 13.
13. Both of them have hands-on weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You could see that there was a nervousness in their demeanor. And when Amadeo stepped in, they kind of calmed down a little bit, but not. Their hands are still on their weapons, but they are still holding on tight.
Gotcha.
Amadeo, as you got that close to Phoebe, like right up in between in that really tight space, you'd have felt like a very brief, intense warmth, as if like stepping right out into like a hot summer sun, and it would have faded really quickly. Like maybe something was about to react from Phoebe.
What a wonderful event. Shall we continue?
Mog turns around, just grabs the axe, and starts walking before everybody finishes gathering things. They're probably going to be about like 40 or 50 paces in front of everybody as they're walking. Definitely giving that like, not necessarily like pouty child, but just like you can tell that they are trying to cool off.
Cypress starts walking and saddles up next to Phoebe. That son of a bitch totally let me hit him.
I mean, you don't know that for sure.
I mean, I had more in me, but I mean, I like to think I could hit him if he were trying and I were trying, but in that moment, he totally let me hit him.
I mean, it was just supposed to be a friendly thing. I didn't think that Mount would take it personally. Like Davos and Xanthus, that was a friendly fight. We got our asses kicked.
Yeah. Well, we've got strong, tentative allies at least.
I know if they had their axe, I don't think I could have been quite so fast. But maybe they'll cool off.
Onward.
Onward to Argos.
Okay.
Amadeo.
Hmm.
She's going to start walking towards you. She's going to adjust her nose, and it like cracks back into place. But you gain
Thank you.
4 points of healing if needed.
I don't know that I actually took damage. How much damage?
Oh,
did
from
that
Your
do?
nose
the
was
bash.
broken from a while ago.
Right.
You feel whatever like swelling and pain from the bash would have subsided.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Does Amadeo have clear sinuses for the first time in 6 years, and it changes his entire outlook on life?
His
Maybe.
voice changes.
Suddenly I can smell everything.
Ancient Greece smells really bad.
Right, I did that on purpose.
You've ruined me. He punches himself in the nose.
Oh no, smell, my only weakness. Astrid casts self-awareness at max level.
Nice.
Do I smell like this all the time?
Oh no.
Captain, we've been trying to tell you for years.
Only after you bathe.
Okay. Continuing your journey. It is not too long before you reach Argos. This mighty city between two hills, set in front of a plain Not like a plane, but like a
Set is in front of a plane.
yes. Okay.
Are there snakes in this plane?
Yes, there are. There are snakes in the plane. Plenty of planes.
Planes.
Hopefully you do not tire of these snakes walking on this plane.
Oh my gosh. Awful.
I'm still sad they never did the sequel, Polar Bears on a Train.
Is that what Tom Hanks?
Oh no. Probably.
The Rise of Wilson.
Yeah. Let me see here. Hold on. All right. Reaching this this town, you do find, just as was spoken, that it is a town filled with craftsmen, filled with goods. And it is one of those things where it's not necessarily strange, but there is a part of you that is realizing how even just 20, 30 miles away, with all of the chaos that you had seen and experienced in Sparta, that there are some cities that don't seem to have any idea of what is happening just down the road, so to speak. Make perception checks for me, please, as you are going about the place.
A natural 20 for a 23.
3.
Also a
Not
23.
really.
So 23.
16.
16. Misto.
11.
11 for Cyprus.
Which was the roll?
Perception, please.
Perception. I got a 26.
26.
Excuse me, 24.
24. Nice. Laertes.
11.
What was Astrid? Did you already tell me?
16.
16.
8 plus 8.
Yeah. Let's see here. Are you now? Here's another question. Are you guys kind of meandering through the city, making your way with purpose to leave? Like, what is the general vibe that you're going to be going for here?
Well, what time of day is it?
It's probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
And we could probably make it to
Or
Nemea
anyway.
next
You can make it
by the
to.
evening.
Yeah, you'll be able to make it to Corinth by evening.
Phoebe's like, I mean, we can meander, whatever you want to do. If you want to do some shopping at the gift store, like, we can take our time.
Because the only reason that it took so long to get to Argos would be maybe a little later of a start in the day because of the going shopping and then stopping for the fish and the sacrifice.
Game of tag.
And then the game of tag. So yeah, you would probably, if you just continue through all the way through, and just kind of as you're passing through the city, just kind of kept going, you'd make it to Corinth by night. If not, then you'd be making Nemea by night. If you
Weren't
were
we,
taking more time.
Weren't we going to see if Argos had amazing shield crafters? Was that right?
Yes, and it is a very beautiful place. Lots of tradesmen who are masters in their crafts. It would be nice. Though I know things are pressing.
Cypress, you can't help but be antsy.
The Argive shield.
Cypress, what do you think?
Well, of course, time is a factor, but if we certainly shouldn't stop on my account. I don't have anything that I'm looking to stop for, but if there's reason to, I don't know if these artisans have something to offer that we don't have. We do have at least some gold on us.
Yes, perhaps I should look for a shield then, while we are here.
I already have mine that's quite useful. I don't think I'll get a better one, but could see.
Astrid is going to. She's also wanting a shield. That is a little better, hopefully. But yeah, I say we go shopping. There's a couple of things that we could sell and purchase.
Phoebe.
Sounds good.
I would like to look for a jeweler.
Okay.
Looking for a bracelet.
That is easy to find. Quickly
You said there were dudes carrying lumber around here too.
Well, they were carrying it out of Argos. Argos is a big commercial, not like a crafter society, but there's a lot of people who make things here. So, those who prepare lumber for different building projects, because temples, while the longer lasting ones were made of stone, were usually made of wood. So there's a fair amount of wood that gets used for building things, and so this would be a place that they kind of shape and cure and prepare wood for either travel or building. There are a lot of metal workers here, so that you are definitely able to find some shields. What kind of shields are you looking for? Just
An aspis.
Huh?
An aspis.
Okay.
It's a shield made of primarily wood, but it has a layer of bronze on the outside, usually around the rim.
Okay.
And Themisto, of course, has her Peltist shield that she's been using this whole time. But if she can find one of a similar fashion that is a bit sturdier, then she would certainly take that. I think that since this is a big commercial hub, and she would maybe like to find some nice chisels with a fun engraving on the handle or something to bring home to her mom, who is an artisan herself.
Yeah.
Get a souvenir from Argos.
Um.
And boots for Dad for sure.
Okay. All of these
Like
things.
nice sturdy sandals. We don't really use boots around here.
Yeah.
All of these things would be about 15 gold to get yourself a shield and the boots and some chisels and things.
Oh, we can find all these? Hooray.
Mhm.
Okay.
And for you, Astrid, another shield would be 7 gold.
Okay. 7 gold.
Is the shield of a enhanced variety, or is it just a flavorful? This
Right.
is an Argosian shield.
I'm
I'm good with either. Good.
I'm willing to spend a little bit of coin to find a shield that's of better quality. If
Okay.
we can. Yeah.
Same.
Then, if you're wanting a tell me in D&D terms. Are you wanting to try and find
Like
a
a +1 or +2 if that's
Okay.
available.
plus-
kind of
Yes,
stuff.
that would be nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
+1 will probably cost double the money. It'll be 14 then for.
Okay.
I mean,
a-
heck, I'll do that.
Damn, I want a +1 shield for
Let's
14
go.
gold. Yeah.
This is probably one of the few places where you could get something
Okay,
like that.
that's fine. How many of these +1 shields can we get? For our
Just
party?
covered in shields.
I mean, at least 5, right?
I can
I
afford
guess-
this.
Can I outfit my Guardiani with +1 shields
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Then, if I'm gonna do that.
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
before you spend any money, remember travel expenses.
Jeez.
Make the kids pay.
Keep your receipts.
Margetta,
Yes, Captain.
write these down.
Okay.
Put it under.
She goes to the ground and starts getting a stick.
Put it under unexpected resupply.
Okay. So that I know what the heck I just agreed to you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 +1 shields, 5, 6.
All the
up.
shield users want shields.
Like I said, this would be the place. Okay.
We're
6
so
+1 shields.
fancy with our fancy shields.
Must be nice to be able to wear armor.
Get him a little brass pin in the shape of a shield.
No, you'll poke him and then he'll die.
He just
I'm-
deflates.
I'm
He's not
gonna
gonna
hold
die.
out
He's just
for
gonna
some
deflate like a
cool-
balloon.
Little help. Nowadays you're flying. I know.
Now, I don't want to bite the hand that feeds, but aside from shield,
I do have a
any
small shopping
things we could.
list if we are able to, and it doesn't have to be all on travel expenses. I have saved gold for this.
Yes, and
Send me a list of
Oh.
the things that you're looking for. That way we don't take too much time.
okay, I would just be wanting to upgrade like my normal weapons, like my scimitar,
Yes.
longbow kind of thing.
As I said, send me a list.
Okay.
We'll talk about this later, or we'll
Okay.
cover this later. Cypress,
Well-
we're gonna say.
Oh no, they froze.
And Brooke.
Oh no!
Okay.
You're
I'm
back,
back.
you're
Can you all
back.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing other than potentially armor and potentially sword, those are the only two like upgrade things. Taking a look at Davos's platinum rings that he gave Cypress, does it look like there's room on them for adornment or changes?
I mean, if you wanted to spend more than a day or two here.
Hmm.
Not really. They are made as is. If you're wanting to go to a craftsman and have them redone into something else, that can be arranged, but it would take, and it will say that you ask. It will take a couple of days to do that.
Okay. Never mind then. Thank you.
Phoebe, you said you were looking for a.
Jeweler, yeah.
Jeweler.
I will tell Laertes, if you're not looking for anything in particular, I wouldn't mind the company.
I have a few thoughts, but where are you going?
I'm hoping to find a jeweler.
I might be looking for one as well. Let's go and do
Really?
that.
And Aaron, I am looking for a little gold bracelet in the shape of a snake, like what I posted in Table Banter, which
Okay.
was a real thing because I've seen the one from history.
Is
Oh yeah,
Phoebe-
that's
did you just like walk away?
Mhm. Well, y'all are going to do like the armor thing, and me and Laertes are
Okay.
like, I mean, we don't use that. And we're gonna go over here, okay?
We're gonna go find the shawarma.
Okay, have fun.
All right, everyone, meet back here in 1 hour. Nobody get lost. Have your
Oh
shopping
yeah, we
buddy.
don't have phones or anything to.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's
Like,
so
you
nice.
know,
We
of
I
have
can-
Empire.
the speaking thing,
I
don't
can
we?
psych
Nope.
link
No.
to Laertes.
I'm that's still a project I'm working on.
Mhm.
Okay.
I have not invented the cell phone yet. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I'm trying to save the world here.
Themisto knows she can use sending to at least
Yeah.
one other party member currently, so we're okay.
We'll do the smart, like, meet here in an hour.
Yes,
Nobody get lost kind of thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Near the big statue of Arethusa.
There's a really nice Euro stand right here. We'll get some food after.
Gotta have her stopping episode.
Yeah.
Yay.
We'll meet
So-
back
Yeah.
directly underneath the Earth's sun now.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't worry, we're gonna shop in Corinthos too.
Shop into Phoebe's past. How much would that kind of bracelet run?
10 gold, probably. It is a fancy one. It is very nicely made,
Good.
but it is gold.
hmm
So basically, you're almost like exchanging weight of gold for weight in gold kind of situation.
Laertes,
Plus
would you have
labor.
any kind of comment, or you just kind of keep things to yourself as Phoebe makes this purchase?
Not any of his business.
Oh, on you just stare at everything.
Phoebe, would you
What?
have any kind of comment? Just to remark.
No, but it's not like she's trying to hide it either.
Mhm.
It's not like that one scene in Love Actually when he's buying the necklace and is like looking over his shoulder.
That's a reference I actually remember.
It'd be more a case of, is she humming and hawing on anything, or is she just going beelining for that and going, I'm going to do that?
She sees it and she instantly knows that's the one.
I think if she was waffling on what she was going to get, he would have tried to say something, but once she already made up her mind, immediately he's like, I am not required.
I mean, she'll ask your opinion. What do you think?
I don't think it would look very good on me, but
I mean, it's not for you.
well, now you said it out loud. Now it's a real thing.
What?
I'm playing with you.
I mean, I know. If you got like an earring though, that'd be kind of cool.
A little past the college phase.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. Anyways,
Wait, did you used to have an earring?
I'll never tell.
Oh, please tell me. Please tell me.
Well, anyways, these look nice. And he starts looking at some gems.
Find something you're interested in, sir?
A short, portly, we'll call him dwarvish man.
Yes, I was looking for. And he starts to think about some of the qualities of the crystal he carries around and the process behind it, requiring raw materials, but it can't just be the same one. It needed something a little different. At least that was the impression I was getting. What are some of the more odd or impressive cuts you have? The ones that normally don't move.
What kind of gemstone do you seek?
Something that plays with light in interesting ways. Like, not sure if I can find this here, but because the name hasn't been invented in this world, Alexandrite, whatever the pre-Hellenic name is for that.
Kind of chews at his lip as he's like, studies you up and
A
down.
great diet.
It's greenish during some light and purplish during other light.
Yes, I'm getting an idea of what you are talking about. How much are you willing to spend?
How much are you willing to fleece me out of?
Everything.
Well, let's see the cut of your work.
Come with me.
And you realize now that the man that you've been talking to is not, in fact, the shop owner of the gems that you were looking at. So he walks out of the shop.
Hmm.
You can see the lady there's like,
Can I help you with something?
Talking to me or talking to Phoebe? Did she just get
That's a
fleeced?
nice move.
no, he was talking to you. She had been talking to Phoebe until
Okay.
just now, and then was like, "Can I help you with something?" He kind of portrayed himself to be just another
Good
person.
grift, good grift.
Another person here in the shop.
So he was trying to shortchange me, is what you're going with? Aaron, how dare you?
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't
Mhm,
know an errand.
I don't know how much of that conversation you heard. Something high clarity
I
in
have
the realm
these
of Alexandrite.
from the doorway of the shop. The guy once again goes,
She will have nothing that you're looking for. Come with me.
I feel
she's like, "Who is that man? Is he with you?"
No, I've never seen them before.
I'm gonna follow a hunch. I'm gonna go follow this gentleman and seeing if Phoebe follows. And I'm thinking also along the lines of every time I've had to go and purchase supplies, relics, anything from the bazaar, both spellings of that word, this feels kind of appropriate.
I'm not going to leave Laertes on his own, so I'm going to follow since my purchase is done.
Okay.
She's like, "Wait, but I have gems." And you both walk out. Whoop.